My father got the first solo issue of Superman from 1939. It was locked away for decades. He found out that was the second nicest copy of that book on the planet. That book could easily go for $3 to $4 million.
A world of comic book obsessions and family secrets. They all come out in the new docu-series Selling Superman. It's a hidden treasure worth millions and a man's heroism that's just as important as the heroes in those comics. And Selling Superman comes out on digital platforms next week. And joining me now is the filmmaker Adam Schomer. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
I was watching some of the clips and I was trying, I was getting into these stories. It's really interesting. Tell our viewers, what is this docu-series really about?
Well, there's a 40-year family secret, and I mean, these comic books were being collected, taking over room and room and room, and the kids had to keep it all secret, if you can imagine that, not telling your friends. There's all these comic books, and the father had Asperger's, so it was really a destruction point for the family, a point of trauma. So as he's going through now, Darren, the main character, through the books and the treasures and the Superman #1 worth millions, 300,000 comic books, he's kind of unboxing, metaphorically and literally, all these stories about his past and the difficulties with his father.
Yeah, because it looks like, he's like got this gold mine, but it seems like it's really kind of covering up some trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And Darren, is a self-made businessman, so it's not a lottery type thing. And he wants to do the right thing with these comics, put them in the right hands. They never got to share them. As a kid, you and your dad to read a book together, never did that. Just bought the books, hid them away, and it became this dark secret. He stopped going on vacations, all these things you'd want to do with your dad. Yeah.
How did you get involved in this whole project?
Well, Darren and I knew each other from high school.
Okay.
So he knew I had been making documentaries for 15 years, and he trusted me, told me about this secret recently, and I said, first of all, I knew your dad had no idea the Asperger's, no idea about the comics. All right, let me come in and meet you again, and meet your mom again, and be at the old house. And oh my gosh, the family portrait just started to unravel. Yeah,
I mean, it really does seem like a much greater story than just those comic books.
Absolutely. I mean, it goes to his aunt, who's a collector as well. You're seeing episode 3. Some things happen with the crew. He starts to have trouble, the main character, Darren, with even being on film.
Oh.
Because he's going through a lot of his past, and so it's bringing up a lot. He's getting a lot of press at times, which became a sore point, trolls on the internet and things like this. So it brought up a lot of trauma, but it is a heroic journey of, finding peace inside. And like you mentioned at the beginning, the inner hero or the real superhero.
Yeah, there was a line in there I saw where he says something like, if it was up to his mom, she would just have like a dump truck pull up, or actually she'd recycle all of those. Like, she didn't want anything to do with them. So
nothing. I mean, she's a nature lover, so she would recycle.
Yeah.
But in the divorce, when they divorced, she wanted nothing to do with the comics.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how valuable they would be, but she knew they were worth something, but she didn't want anything to do with that part of their life. So Darren is left to deal with it all.
Wow. I can't wait to see what he does. So thank you so much for joining us. It looks very interesting. And again, Selling Superman comes out next week. We're talking about the 18th, right? On digital platforms, including Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and Google Play. And you can find more information by just going to our website, kconnews.com, and click Seen on TV.